Hello everyone. I have been making some junk journals out of old book covers, or putting old book covers on as the cover. This one, I'm going to show these two today. So this one has a charm here. Just a few different little dangles. This is the back. It has two signatures and an elastic closure with a hitching post to put it on. You can see the two signatures here. When I put them together, I do not glue the middle part. I like to keep that loose so the book lays flat. Okay, so this is some Tim Holtz paper, and this is a page from an old butterfly book, which I just stitched some writing space on there. Here's a pocket I made, and inside is a tag. It's a picture from an old children's book. Beautiful image. That's a cigar band. Tea-stained paper, and I got a new sewing machine, so I've been doing lots of stitching. This is a page from an old Dick and Jane book, which I love. I love the pictures in them because that's a book I read when I was in school. As you can see, I didn't add any staining to these pages. This is the color they are. And the book was kind of falling apart, so I glued some tissue there on the fold to reinforce that. And here's another pocket with a little tag collaged, and then another little pocket with another tag inside. This is a beautiful book called The Wildling Princess. Every page has this border on it, and it's just very pretty. So here is an envelope I made out of some magazine paper, and inside are these cute little pictures from, I found these on Pinterest, and I just thought they were hilarious. Cheers, friend, and everybody knew the words. The cats are drinking. They were really cute. Another page from that beautiful flower book that I got, Garden Flowers in Color. And this is from The Little Engine That Could. This is a page from an old school ledger. You notice on their inventory they have things like coal house, outhouse. Don't think they have those in schools anymore. A sod. Okay, so I made a little pocket out of this, and here is a little tag that's collaged with a photo of a family going on a little road trip. And then this is like the inside of a spine of a book that when I took it apart, I noticed that they use old newspaper for that, and it looked kind of cool. All stitched together. Little belly band with another tag. Here I did stitch a little bit of fabric down the edge of that page. And on the strings I put hearts. Just added some extra paper there. Another pocket, and this one has this little tag and an old postcard and from Iowa, and another blank postcard made out of handmade paper. Some ledger paper, that's from the old school ledger. Another page from The Little Engine That Could. And I just stitched some extra writing paper on this to make it more interesting. Another page from Dick and Jane. And so that's the first signature, and here's the second one. These all have, I like that Tim Holtz cardstock. It's printed on both sides, and it really goes well in my vintage style journals. It's an old book page. This was the cover on an old baby book. I like how old and crinkly it is. If you look closely, it looks like spider webs. And this is actually a page from that baby book. The illustrations on it were just precious. Here I just stitched a little piece of fabric on the edge. And here's a tea stain doily. Little bag with an old greeting card. Nice thing about these cards is you can actually open them up and write on the inside also. Some more from the baby book. This pocket's made from Atlas paper, and here's a tag I collaged. There's Grandma from Little Red Riding Hood. Magazine page. Probably could have come from one of these old Saturday evening posts, which I have a few of them. This time I put butterflies on the strings. $19.28. Yeah, this one's also $19.28. So this came from that. And I've just put a little corner tuck spot in here, and this is a Russian postcard. I think these were sent to other ham radio operators. This one's 1965. And on the other end of the bag is this little postcard. Happy birthday. I just stuck this little piece of cardstock on there. It could be written on. And that's it for this one. Then I'll show this one also. So this is a book I picked up. It had some nice things, pictures and stuff on the inside, and I just saved the cover even though it was a plain cover like this. So I got out a stencil and some black acrylic paint and just stenciled the cover, which I thought came out nice. So, and there's an old button, and it has an elastic closure. And so this one has hidden binding also. There are 2 signatures. And I stitched them to this piece of fabric, but it has a stronger cardstock backing glued to it, so it's pretty sturdy. This is some of that Locta paper. Okay, I just wanted to check and see I'm still recording. And this is from an old, I think, geometry or algebra book. And this is a page from a magazine, Saturday Evening Post, so it could have been from here. I just put little clusters on some of these pages for decoration. I sit down and make a bunch of these at a time. So then I have a little box full of them I can pull out when I need them. And this is some handmade paper, which I did a little stitching on, and then I reinforced where I knew it was going to be sewn into the book with this piece of a doily. It's been glued and stitched, so I wanted it to be strong. Book page with some collage. So here's a pocket decorated with a flower from the Garden Flower book and a couple of tags. This one's on a piece of Tim Holtz cardstock with some of that German scrap and just napkin and fabric. And this tag is made from some of that green hanging file folder material. It's also collaged. There's actually a little pressed flower in there. You can't really see it. So here we have napkin collage, die cut, and then a little image cut from a magazine. Didn't put anything on those strings, so I'm going to go back and put like little flowers or something there. So this page, just didn't have anything but text on it, so I actually just went through my scraps and found a bunch of papers that were tea stained or old, and just glued them down to cover it, and that makes this a whole page of writing. This is a little cute little set of cards I found, 15 cents. Here I glued a greeting card to cover up, just to make this page more interesting because it was just text. And on this side, some writing space, another one of my little clusters. So here's a pocket made out of encyclopedia paper with a picture of a sailing ship and Titanic. Ledger paper. This is from an old algebra book. I like it when there's actually some writing on there. Somebody's notes. 1930. Okay, so that's the first signature, and here's the second one. More of that paper from Nepal. It's called Lakta paper. Another cluster I sewed on. And this was a greeting card also. I like to cut them open so you can write on the inside. And I kind of framed that flower. Little greeting card. Page from a magazine. I think it's called the Arizona magazine. Has some nice pictures in it. This is from the Coast Guard manual. And I added this little picture here. And this is from a German architecture book. And I did glue those little ladies on there. And a die cut. Some sewn together paper. And this is just a little I don't think I'm going to take that out. That clip is tight. It's a note card. Yeah, it's a pretty little note card. I like the red flowers with that. So this is scrapbook paper and just some old paper that was already stained and a cutout. And inside is a little tag I made. I thought this one was really cute. One of those Tim Holtz people images. And an old postcard. Sent to Albany, Oregon. Just a lady from a magazine glued down there. And another little cluster. This is the Morse code. It's from that Coast Guard manual. And on this side, I just put some extra writing paper. And that page didn't quite come to the edge, so I just will sew, get out my sewing machine and sew a little extra paper on there. Okay, it's pretty thick. This is book page that I put gesso on, so that makes a nice writing surface. Ledger paper, algebra book paper, and that's it. So these are two of the journals I just finished. I have 3 or 4 others, which I think I'll upload also at the same while I'm doing this. Thanks for watching.